by the end of it, we had 9 of us who were passing out. Everybody else failed. Working with Red FM, like 93.5 Red FM, the one that you hear on the radio. You see so many celebrities like come in and out every single day.
Wow.
Kartik Aaryan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then what is that guy doing?
That guy is conducting. Some people charge like 1.5 lakhs, some people charge 2 lakhs. If I have all the stems with me, I can easily sue anybody. And he's doing really amazing now. Yeah.
He was Bahubali.
Yeah, he was Bahubali.
Hey guys, मैं हूँ चैतन्य नवाथे, आपका host. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to season 3 of Above the Average. Season 3 is going to be similar to season 1 and 2. 10 episodes रहेंगे, 10 guests, 10 different careers and fields. The only difference is in-person podcasts. I'm really happy with it. सब shooting, editing, सब बहुत quickly and बहुत अच्छे से हुआ. But due to all of this being so quick and fast and everything, I have not been able to shoot any intros for every episode. So यही intro आपको हर बार दिखने वाला है. So अगर आप ये 7वीं, 8वीं, 10वीं बार देख रहे हो तो what, like, go, skip, let's go into the episode. Hello and welcome to this episode of Above the Average Season 3. Today with me I have Tanvi Joshi. Tanvi, hi, welcome to this episode. Tanvi is a music producer and an A&R.
Yes.
So I'll let you tell us what is A&R and give your introduction.
Okay. So, yes, I'm a music producer and an A&R. So, music production is nothing but including all the elements that bring melody and every other instrument together, or every other aspect, or anything that is together. A&R is basically artist and repertoire. You manage artists and whatever that follows the artist, basically their music, their aesthetic, everything else. So yeah, that's A&R.
All right. So let's go to your college. Ki education, what was the education required to get into this field? So firstly, where have you studied music?
Starting from like the start, I
Yeah.
think I've started learning music since the age of 4.
Okay.
I have learned Indian classical music. I've been singing Indian classical music for the longest time in my life. I've learned under various gurus, and that is where my formal education started. But later on, I think in 12th grade, I had the option of choosing engineering or music.
Okay.
I really wanted to pursue engineering, and I wanted to like give it a shot and then go for music, because music was something that I'd eventually go for.
Okay.
But my parents said no to engineering.
Okay.
That's like a weird thing, is what I figured.
Yeah. People, like most parents say कि engineering कर ले फिर
हाँ,
कुछ और.
engineering कर लो, फिर life set है, फिर music कर लो. But मेरे case में थोड़ा सा अलग था.
They
I
encourage
guess.
you to
Yes.
take
Both
care.
my parents met in a music college back in
Okay.
their time.
Nice.
So हमारे family में music है, and it flows like that. So I did my bachelor's degree from NMIMS School of Performing Arts, and yeah, after that it just went on flowing on.
Nice. So we are related. My Mausi is your mom.
Yes, that's true.
So the music part, as you said, your mom and dad met in music school. I am aware of that. So I am sure घर पे music बहुत होगा.
Absolutely.
So what happened after that when you joined college?
So after I joined college, it was very interesting. We had 26 subjects in a matter of 3 years, I think.
Okay.
And that included everything from EVS, English,
Acha.
to music production, music performance, writing, understanding like harmony, theory, every single thing. Very interesting subjects, very interesting. I don't I barely remember times where I've taken a notebook and a pencil to college, which is not the
Okay.
case with majority of the colleges
Yeah.
that I've known. But yeah, it was more practical than theory. It was fun.
Nice. So this was bachelor's in
Bachelor's in performing arts.
performing arts.
Yes. And I was a vocal major student.
Acha.
So yeah.
Okay. Any like unique stories you might want to share with us from college?
College has been a fun experience. It was always fun. But to your surprise or to the listener's surprise, people usually think, "Arey, music hai to music ही तो है क्या ही है." But we started off as a batch of 30 people. That's like the maximum amount of people we can have in a batch. And by the end of it, we had 9 of us who were
Okay.
passing out. Everybody else failed.
Oh.
You actually fail in a music degree. That's like a very normal thing to
Okay.
happen. So yeah.
Damn. मतलब इस टॉपिक पे ज़्यादा नहीं जाएंगे क्योंकि एजुकेशन सिस्टम में पे नहीं जाना बट दैट इज लाइक really good, you know, मतलब you
It
go
is.
through those stages, you see
Absolutely.
competition and all that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's go ahead. After college, you joined a company, and what was that?
Yes, I was working with Red FM, like 93.5 Red FM, the one that you hear on the radio is the
Nice.
same thing.
Crazy.
And yeah, it was crazy. And I was working on an album with them, an album of 14 songs. I was initially hired as an intern actually to do the backups. मैंने एक दिन बैकअप नहीं किया. I can assure you that I failed terribly as an intern. But they realized that I had different talent in me. They
Okay.
realized that I could write, I could sing, I could produce.
Hmm.
So I ended up writing 3 songs on the album as a lyricist.
Okay.
I ended up producing my first song, which is called Savera.
Okay.
And and yeah, that's how it went. It was I ended up co-producing all 14 songs.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was fun.
So, just for the listener, these 14 songs will be released by
Yes.
Red FM.
Yes, they'll be released by Red FM very soon.
That is insane. Ki you like you sang and you were also a producer, right?
Yeah, so on 14 songs meant 14 different artists
Okay.
on this album specifically. I am one of the artists on the album itself. So yes, Savera I sang, I wrote, I produced. Savera is my baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other 14 you like co-produced.
I co-produced, yeah. So it's like parenting, but difficult.
Amazing. We'll get deeper into that.
Yes.
Now you have shifted company
Yes.
and job roles as well.
Yes.
So what is that?
So currently I'm working with a company called Hooper, which is a music licensing platform. Now what Hooper does is Hooper creates tracks. Hooper has a page and it can basically companies to do with advertising, jingles, or even OTT shows. They come to Hooper, they say that we have these requirements, and they like pick songs from Hooper, and that is how it happens basically. So with Hooper, I'm working as an A&R executive and a music producer as well. So I produce songs and I also find and scout for artists. That is my job role.
Nice. So getting into music का questions. First is music production मतलब क्या?
म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन मतलब आप कौन सा भी गाना ले लीजिए इन टुडेज डे एंड एज almost 95 to 98% of the elements in that song are not done live or are not done by a person.
Okay.
जैसे-
So जो केसरिया, let's say केसरिया गाना है,
हाँ,
only Arjit Singh is live, everything else is
everything else is done
Mechanic.
by one single person, and that person is called a music producer.
okay.
That is what a music producer is.
Got it.
Yeah.
ठीक है. How did you get into music production में ही कैसे गए?
I think it started off when I was, I think, 12, and my dad got this one crack CD of some random software which could mix
Okay.
two songs together.
अच्छा.
It was like a DJ console thingy, but like to a very dumbed down level.
Okay.
And I started mixing songs like that on the go, like one song with the other and things like that.
Mixing means कि
Mixing is just like layering एक गाने के ऊपर दूसरा गाना.
Okay.
So to mixing there are various aspects, right? आपको BPM बताना. BPM is beats per minute. Every song has a certain BPM, which is beats per minute. So आपको BPM पता होना चाहिए, आपको key पता होना चाहिए गाने का key क्या है. अगर एक गाना एक certain key में तो दूसरा गाना you can't overlap because it is bound to sound different.
Okay.
But as a 12-year-old, I could do that very well in spite of not having knowledge of all these things. So then my parents thought that maybe I was good at this also, apart from the singing, Indian classical singing. So then they got me another software which is called a DAW. A music software is called a DAW, which is Digital Audio Workstation.
Okay.
And they gave me FL Studio for starters. And FL Studio is just like Adobe or any other software that you can think of, just for like music specifically. Now there are others in the market. There's FL Studio, there's Ableton, there's Logic, there's Reaper, there is GarageBand, n number of softwares. So yeah, that's how I got into production. It was that one crack CD, I think.
Crazy. So you started when you were very young. You learned that like you can say professionally from the college.
Yes.
You applied that
Yeah.
at Red FM and now at Hooper.
Yes, now I'm doing that.
Amazing. So next question is about jobs and getting jobs in the music industry, because I feel like music industry में there's a like थोड़ा tension की jobs है कि नहीं, right? I've heard that.
Right. So I think it's far more better than IT or CS or any other
Achha.
people who are graduating from engineering colleges per se.
Okay.
I agree कि there is very less space for corporate jobs in
Right.
this space, because once you look at it, if you're a marketing person, for example, such as yourself, if you're aiming to get into a company, you can get into labels, which is like huge, right? There's Sony, there's T-Series, there's 100 such labels, probably 1,000 such labels all over the country. That is the corporate side of things. But if you're an artist like myself, if you're a singer, for example, you can get into lots and lots of things, which can start right from advertising to performing live shows to singing for somebody to singing backing vocals to performing with somebody, performing for somebody, doing session work. That is how it goes for singers. Now, if you're an instrumentalist, the same will follow. But if you're a music producer, you can do lots and lots of things in the industry. Like, first of them would be to produce for other people. A, that gives you experience, and B, it is good to understand sounds which are different from yours and work to other people's required things and requirements, basically. So yeah, there's lots of jobs in that space. Freelancing works best in the industry is what I've figured out until now. Because until and unless it's like a big organization where you would like to get hooked onto, you would rather just freelance and earn more, do more, learn more with other people. So yeah.
Okay. So there are many jobs.
Absolutely, it's booming. With OTTs coming in, Netflix, Prime Video, all of that coming in, it's a booming space to be in. There's background scores. Background scores do so well with so many people.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's come to your work at Hooper, or rather, let's start with Red FM.
Yes.
Red FM, how was working at Red FM?
Red FM was fun because we had the same office space for Red FM. Like, I'm pretty sure you know of RJ Malishka.
Yeah.
I saw her every day.
Okay.
And I put it as a flex to people, like subtle flex, guys. So there was her, there was many other RJs that I've heard names of, but like I don't know these people by face.
Okay.
So I got to see them. I got to see so many celebrities like come in and out every single day.
Wow.
Kartik Aaryan.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that. It was fun that way. And yeah, working with it was fun because I was working with these two producers who had already produced who were working with Dua Lipa and many others.
Baap.
It was a lot of learning, lot of experience, and these people are so humble and down to earth. I was so surprised, to be very honest.
Wow. Was this the time when Dua Lipa was in India?
I wish, I so wish. She was not.
Okay. What I'll say tip or some insider information you can share with people who want to, let's say, work at Red FM?
So firstly, Red FM works more like a distribution channel for distributing music specifically.
Okay.
If you have music with you, you can go to these radio stations and tell them that I have this music, I want it to stream, or I want it to stream on radio, I want you to put them on some playlist, or something like that. These radio stations work more towards, like, they are more artist centric that way.
Okay.
But if you are looking at working with some radio station, you'll have to be on the corporate side of things more than the artist side of things. But if you're planning on working somewhere or going somewhere, the first imperative thing that you need to have is your own portfolio. I think it's different with other fields because, for example, if I am into, let's say I sell product A. I sell this rubber band, right? I can show you this rubber band and you can feel it, you can see what material, what, how, what. But how am I going to explain my music to you? I create this music which is dreamy and catchy, you won't understand anything, right? Unless and until I play you something or I have a link to my portfolio or a link to whatever work I've done before, there is nothing substantial in your basket to show. So having a portfolio is the most important thing that you need to have. Other thing is, now I'm sure listeners on your podcast or everybody knows some person in some of their groups who's like, hey, please listen to my track. Hey, please give it a shot.
Okay.
Please say stream bada do. Because that's how it is going to be going on ahead with the war of people wanting to grow in this space. Everybody wants to become something. Everybody wants streams. Everybody wants likes. And that is how people grow. That is how artists grow. So yeah, so putting your work out and letting people know that you are either a lyricist or a songwriter or a singer or an instrumentalist or a music producer or you produce background scores or something like that. So yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Let's first come to your singing side of things. As an artist, you have a song coming out with Red FM.
Yes.
But you also had a few more songs that you are working on.
I think every artist will agree to this. Every time either I'm in the bathroom or I'm in the train, there's some idea that pops up and I end up recording it on my phone.
Okay.
I go back home, put it on my door, and I make a scratch out of it, like a short little 1 minute sample out of it. Now, there's somewhere close to like 120 scratches.
Okay.
That either land my phone or my laptop or somewhere. But yeah, I work on so many things, it's crazy. And the funny thing is, if I work on 20 songs, I'll probably put out one of those.
Okay.
So that's a very bad ratio to start with. And that's with every artist I've ever known.
Okay.
No artist puts out every of their work. I mean, it's not... If you're not an artist, if you put out all of your work. So, yeah, gatekeeping my work.
Okay. How do you manage so many scratches yourself?
Yeah, that's one more thing. I think that every artist and every person who creates content in general needs to follow. That you should, and it's like very necessary for you to have like a backup. Apart from your laptop, what if your laptop crashes? All of those 120 scratches go down the drain.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they are the best, but they could have the best.
Yeah.
So you can't really count on one device to hold all of your work. You should like distribute that and like have backups. regular backups that are happening at your pace. But yeah.
Nice. And what are some common challenges that artists face?
There's so many of them. There is again two aspects to this. One is on a personal level, what an artist faces, and the other thing would be once I have a product. Okay, my product is my song. Once I have a song, what do I do? Personal level pe to I'll face X, Y, Z, hundred thousands of challenges. Like there's writer's block, there's creative block. ये गाना ही नहीं आ रहा है, इसके हार्मनीज नहीं हो रहे हैं, ये नहीं है, लाइट नहीं है, कुत्ता पीछे भौंक रहा है. So many things happening. But that's a thing. But apart from that, once you have your song out, putting it out and amplifying it and keeping, I think the most important thing that an artist like faces and struggles with is discipline.
Okay.
Most of the artists I know, they are not consistent with their whole song putting out process because there is no fixed process, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes a song comes out naturally. Like I make a song in a day, and sometimes it takes me a year and I'm still unable to like finish the song.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult process to start with. So yeah.
Nice. And like for someone who wants to become an artist and become big in this thing, should they be working in some company or should they do their own thing and continue writing?
Now the thing is, if you're looking, when you say artists, do you mean music producers? Do you mean people like, let's say, bigger like Justin Bieber or Dua Lipa or something like that? How are you looking at it?
Singers.
Singers, right? Because if you're a singer, I think the first thing again that you need to do is put yourself out, make yourself visible on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Since I am an A&R now, I can proudly, firmly say that the easier it is to reach to an artist or somebody who's an artist, the higher the chances of them getting somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you are an artist and if you want to make it big as an artist, yes, putting out music would be the first step. Having good music in your portfolio would be the first step. But apart from that, having somebody, once you reach like a certain level, start performing around maybe.
Achha.
That helps a lot to like amplify your music, and you as an artist, it helps to like build your own set of skills that you might not learn घर पे बैठ के, right? And apart from that, hire an artist manager. An artist manager
Okay.
is like a proper. There are companies that manage artists. There are people who manage artists, and their job is only to look out for these artists and how they do.
It's like for actors, there are agents. Is it like-
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Just like that.
Okay.
So there are artist managers who like pitch artists to companies, to people, to show hosting places. For example, Lollapalooza, right? If I have an artist, the artist maybe can pitch to Lollapalooza, something like that. So yeah, definitely have an artist manager if you want to grow, and because that person would be bound to know more than
Yeah.
you as an artist.
Yeah,
Yes.
you would have more contact.
Absolutely. And yeah.
And so you are working, like doing a job
Yes.
as an artist. And-
Yes, I am both.
So firstly, why is that the case? Why do you think that doing a job as well is important? And like, why aren't you only focusing on being an artist?
Right. So what I'd initially figured out was I had never imagined myself as a sole artist, performing for thousands of people, and I'm dancing. Dancing is not something that I do usually, but like, yeah, I did not imagine myself like that. But I always wanted to pursue music production.
Okay.
And I figured much later that there are not a lot of female producers
Okay.
around, and it is like a very big thing for people कि अरे I've heard so many things, it's almost funny कि अच्छा आप कर लेते हो हाँ भी थोड़ा बहुत. So I started off with that mentality to I think when I first joined college, it was with that mentality that I wanted to produce music first. Being an artist, yes, a music production is equally an art,
Yeah.
and most of the people would disagree with this.
Okay.
Yeah, because they they only think for masses.
Hmm.
It's always ki you can either sing or you can play an instrument,
Hmm.
or at the most, what else can you do? But there's so many other aspects, right? So I started off with doing music production. That's what I wanted to do. And to understand the business side of things better,
Hmm.
I took up this job currently at Hooper, which
Okay.
gives me an insight about how people on the business side of things think about artists, or what do they look for, or what are we looking for in an artist. So I get the best of both worlds, being an artist
Yeah.
and getting to understand the business side of things.
Okay. So actually, I asked you that question because I wanted to know if working at, let's say, Red FM, or working on an album for Red FM, or working for Hooper, do you need to be a musician to enter such companies, or can anyone?
Then again, it's not imperative that you have to be a musician.
Okay.
To get into the music industry, there's no compulsion that you have to be a you have to be a musician per
Okay.
se, right? If you have enough money, for sure you can do anything with that money. But if you're like genuinely planning on getting into music, you can explore the business side of things for sure. There's music marketing, there's music sales, there's music, everything that a normal corporate has applies to music also. It's just like any other entertainment industry. It is an entertainment industry. So that is it. But if you want to pursue music as an artist, there are various aspects to it. But as long as you can translate what you have in your mind to something, either to a paper or to a piano or by singing, I don't think it's an absolute necessity that you have to be a musician. That is how the whole concept of piano सीख लो, guitar सीख लो, गाना सीख लो comes into play, because अगर दिमाग में है, and if I need to tell it to you, right? How am I going to tell you कि मेरे दिमाग में क्या music बज रहा है?
Okay.
Either I can sing it to you, or I can play it to you, or I can write it to you. That is how.
Okay. Nice. Now I have a question about how, let's say, a track is made for some company. Let's say you are an artist and some company wants a track from you. What's the process like? How do they approach you? Not in terms of like how do they find you, but in terms of what do they say to you? Is
Okay.
there a creative brief? Like in marketing, yeah, in marketing there is like a brief that you need to make.
Right.
A doc.
Hmm.
How is that in music?
So, first of all, if suppose you're the company and you're reaching out to me saying that we have this one advertisement, or we have this one short film or film that we need to put out, and we need help from a musical perspective, such as myself. They'll either try to understand how I can be of help to them, or they'll have a specific set brief in their mind about what they want to have. If it's a jingle, they'll tell me that this is the mood. Romantic hai, sad romantic, sensual, angry, horror, anything. They'll give me a proper brief, then they'll give me a script also along with that, and provide me with the audio visual, which is like AV. So you receive an AV file based on which I'll have to create music.
AV?
AV is audio visual.
That could be like a video.
Yes, that could be like a video, that could be like any video file which is like, which makes me understand ki what the thing is exactly. What am I working on? What's the brief? Right.
Just before you go ahead, like the audio visual could be an ad as well.
So depends. If suppose we are working on a jingle, right? Usually jingles are shot way in advance, and the music is made later,
Oh,
right?
really?
It isn't like steps. It doesn't like happen together. That's not how it works.
Acha.
So a commercial is usually shot before, and then
Okay.
the music comes in later, or the voiceover comes in later, right?
Okay.
So I'll either have only the commercial without the music or without anything to it. So if there is an Appy Fizz ad, okay, I'll only have people drinking Appy Fizz and like randomly dancing to
Oh.
it. I'll have a specific BPM key to work with, and that is how I work with. They have a
Oh.
set standard key. We want ye mood ka. This is our target audience. This is how we are gonna work, and that's it.
Wow. So let's say there's an ad agency
Hmm.
making, let's say, an ad for Appy Fizz.
Hmm.
So they'll shoot everything. Let's say now I think Kriti Sanon is doing it.
Yes.
So they'll shoot the whole thing without any music.
Yes, that's how it works. So while shooting, of course, अभी if the cinematographer has certain specifications कि मुझे यही गाना चाहिए या यही गाने के जैसा चाहिए, so they'll play it in the background and then shoot it, but they can't add that song as is. They'll need a music producer to produce music over that.
Okay.
So yeah.
For me, this is kind of surprising
Yeah.
because whenever I've worked on something for, let's say, this podcast, I add the music first and then I make the video.
Oh my god. I don't even know how that works. So yeah, it happens. So music production is like post production. It comes under post production because it's always done later, right?
Acha.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, any music that is created, let's say for a movie, a song for a movie, does that happen the same way there?
So songs का it's थोड़ा different because songs are made way in advance before the music before the film is released, because they need to like choreograph and act and dance over the song.
Acha.
Yeah, right. That happens
But-
after the song is made.
That's a
Yeah,
dance piece.
yeah.
Right.
But for background scores, if you are asking, yes, it happens after the movie is produced.
And
the-
background scores mean?
Background scores is background music for films, which doesn't usually have a vocal piece in it.
Acha.
Right, so there's an emotional that is that is not particularly background score, but background scores are, you know, some emotional piece when people are holding hands. So पीछे जो music बजा है, that is background score,
Okay.
like that. That happens way after the movie is shot.
Okay. And maybe for serials? Like,
Serials, yeah, same thing. Yeah, that all happens editing. People don't physically do that. That'd be fun though.
Okay. Anything that you could share for aspiring artists since you have worked as an A&R?
Yes. I think same thing. Make yourself more visible as possible. Make people. So the ways that I can reach to an artist, if those are easier ways, right? Either I can DM them, or if I find an artist through YouTube, for example. So YouTube pe there are links that you can add to your social pages, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Your numbers, email IDs, put it out. Unless you don't put it out, people won't know. People are deaf until you make them listen, or you put yourself out basically. So,
I want to go deeper into artists in, let's say, Mumbai. You might have seen many in your time here. How many artists are there? Because Arjit Singh happens once in
yes, so many years.
So many years.
Absolutely.
But movies mein you see there are many music artists going through struggle and all that.
Yes.
Does that happen in real time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very, very, very normal in the circles that I am into.
Okay.
Since I'm into the industry and this part of it, I know a lot of people who are struggling so hard as artists. They have songs, they have good music. It's just the wait until the right people listen to that music, and they are at it. They are it for the past 5 years, 10 years, I don't know how many years now. But yeah, there's they struggle a lot for sure. And it's a hard struggle because sometimes the commercials don't work out for a lot of people. Mumbai is an expensive city.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have privileged backgrounds to start with. So they literally come off from so many other places to Mumbai, stay someplace, work hard, hustle so bad. And yeah, for some people it does not work out. And it is a very harsh place. But for some people, it works wonders. Actually, one of our relatives was a struggler.
Oh.
Sharat Kekar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he started off that way.
Yeah.
Although he's an artist, he's an actor now. He did start off that way.
Okay.
And he struggled for, I think, the first 15, 18 years. He started off as a voiceover artist.
Okay.
He did so many things, and he's doing really amazing right now. Yeah.
He was Bahubali.
Yeah, he was Bahubali. Again, subtle flex.
Okay. So जो movies में दिखाते हो सच में भी होता है. And
Oh,
you've
yeah.
seen such people? Like
The one who hustled?
हाँ.
Yeah, actually.
You've been around such people.
I'm around these people only all the time. So I don't know. I think it's with the age and the time I am in the music industry. पहले ऐसे था कि if you can't become Lata Mangeshkar or if you can't become Asha Bhosle, you're an outcast. You don't belong to the industry. कि फायदा क्या है फिर अगर लता मंगेशकर नहीं बनना है तो. That's what I've seen other people's parents tell them कि अगर क्रिकेट खेलना है और अगर सचिन तेंदुलकर नहीं बन पा रहे हो then what's the use? Right? But ऐसे नहीं है. Just because a Sachin Tendulkar exists doesn't mean a Jasprit Bumrah is just like gone to the drain. ऐसे नहीं है. That applies to the music industry as well. Just because a Lata Mangeshkar or a Shreya Ghoshal exists doesn't mean that somebody, as good as me can't or can't thrive. That's absolutely a farce. I think there's space and audience for everybody in the industry. May it be a lyric writer, may it be, and whatever language, okay? Like, I have seen more traction on people who write in different languages apart from Hindi and English. So, yeah, it is a very good space to be in at a very, very good time where it's all booming.
Amazing. There are many like indie artists coming up today thanks to Spotify.
Yes.
And like social media.
Yes.
Do you have any such artists who are not so huge but are like indie artists that are your favorite?
Oh yes, I have tons really. There's this one guy called Revant Shergill.
Okay.
He goes by the name Rev Shergill.
Okay.
And his songs are so they hit the spot. Absolutely hit the spot. They are amazing, and again, same thing. He's just, I think, waiting for something to like blow up and he'll make it through, I'm pretty sure. But apart from that, there's a lot of people. Those are my friends and they are still working and it's all happening. So yeah.
Amazing. So one of, I don't know if he's indie or not, Peter Recording Co. And Co.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite, just a shout.
Yeah.
He stopped doing live like shows.
Man, that's sad.
But anyways, coming to you, you like, what do you think of yourself when you think, मैं artist हूँ? What do you want to do ahead?
Wow. Does anybody know really what they want to do? But what I figured is that every artist is like a tree, right? Every artist has a stage, a certain stage where they grow eventually into it. Like, for example, if you ask me to do something which is very, very Arijit Singh types, I wouldn't be probably the best at that. I'm sure there are other people who I know are really working for him in reality. But then again, I can do something which Arijit Singh can't. I can do something which these people can't. They can't because they have outgrown that stage now.
Nice.
Every artist starts off as an indie artist. घर पे बैठ के एक चेयर पे बैठ के गाना लिखो, उसको कंपोज करो, गिटार पे बजाओ, and that's how all of us start out. Yeah. या फिर इधर मम्मी का लैपटॉप है, मम्मी के लैपटॉप पे आई मेड दिस सॉन्ग एंड ये सॉन्ग ट्रांसफर किया है, एंड दैट्स ऑल आई हैव. आई हैव नोन सो मेनी पीपल लाइक दैट एंड वी ऑल स्टार्ट आउट दैट वे. Then it gets to a stage where we start collaborating with other artists, getting to know them as people, as individuals, as humans. And I think that is a bigger aspect, looking at music but from a very wide angle lens. If I think an artist can do that and understand that creativity doesn't lie only within music. It lies with every other aspect in your life. The more you grow as a person, as a human, the more it will reflect in your art. So yeah, me going ahead, coming back to your question, I don't know. Wherever music takes me, I will go there. May it be performing, I'm up for it. May it be production, jingles, Films, go ahead. I'll do all of it right now because I'm in that stage. Because I know a lot of bigger artists who would probably say ki I don't do jingles, or I wouldn't do something like that, which is fair because it doesn't suit their repertoire, or it doesn't suit their genre, or whatever you may call it. So yeah, I'll do anything.
Oh, nice. So you are flexible right now.
Yes.
You are exploring right now.
Yes, I
But
am.
still, in that, what is your style and what is your music?
So I think with production and in general, me as an artist, I would qualify and classify myself into very indie-like space right now. I am not very Bollywood-ish, but I would still classify myself as an indie artist who's also into very fusion-like stuff, because I think whatever music I've made until now rotates around bandishes like Indian classical and a lot of EDM things going into it.
Oh.
Yeah, it
Okay.
sounds crazy. And it is crazy. I do.
Classical EDMs.
Yes, like classical EDMs. Wow. I'm gonna put that as a genre. Thank you. But yeah, it does like, so I wish to grow in that space, but if there's any other scope, I would love to grow in that way too.
Amazing. And about your songs that you would want to release on your name, your label. Is it called label when you started yourself?
No. So label are bigger organizations which either buy out your song or sign you as an artist,
Okay.
and then they release it under their label. So they will have
Achha.
either royalties or credit or something like that going under their name. That is a label. Indie artist is when I'm releasing it by myself. Everything remains to me. The
Okay.
rights, the credits, the money, everything.
That brings me to the question, how does a song make money?
Now, it depends on where you're putting it, how you're putting it out.
Okay.
If you're releasing it under a label, how labels typically work is that they pay an X amount to the artist before releasing the song. And the artist is under the label's legal rights until the money that is given to the artist is recovered back from either Spotify or Apple. Now you might have heard that Spotify pays itne paise per stream, or these many paise per stream, and that is how labels earn. Labels earn out of various other things also, which are like varied, like they play places, and so that is how labels usually earn. But if you're an indie artist and you want your songs to be like going out somewhere, you either sell your songs to somebody, then there is no question of royalties or anything
Achha,
like that.
it's
You only
sold.
have credits on that song,
Okay.
official sometimes that is also not there. Sometimes you only ghost produce or ghost sing. There's something called as ghost production. Whereas, suppose if you are a company and if you want to say that we are putting out this one song that will go under our name, but we don't want the artist on that song. Because if you're, let's say, company X, and you want that company X should grow, why would you
Oh.
want me to grow, right? So that would be called ghost production. You would buy my song from me, but the credits won't go on that song.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, a lot of music producers, composers, Bollywood composers work that way. They ghost produce,
Okay.
and yeah, they sell it off as their own.
Okay, I'd only heard about ghost writing.
Yeah, ghost production is a thing.
Okay.
Ghost singing now apparently also is a thing, because some people sing and then some people don't even know who the voice is.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets crazier.
Okay.
So yeah, either you sell your song to somebody like this, or you sell your song to companies like ad jingles and people in that circles. Or there's companies like Hooper who buy out your song from you. And then we pitch it to various other companies because we have like a wider network compared to one single individual, right? That is how you make money. And you perform. Performance is a big aspect of music.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people perform and they do very good by performing. So if let's say I do three gigs a week, and if that keeps on going, I'll probably earn better than a usual normal corporate employee would earn. Yeah, in the starting years of his or her
Okay.
life. Yeah.
Corporate मजदूर से तो
Corporate Mazdoori say it's far more better for sure.
Okay, that brings me to the question कि how much can I earn as a music producer working at companies like the ones that you have worked at?
So if you are, there's different terms. Obviously, it's not as easy as कि this यही amount है ऐसे नहीं है. There's different terms under what you can work for somebody. I can, if I'm working as a freelancer, as a freelance music producer, it starts off with anything from 5,000 to some people produce a song for 80,000, some people for 90,000, then goes like crazy or beyond that. Once you have an established name and blue tick, like the not the paid one, like the verified one, then you can charge as much as you want for sure. But apart from that, that is for music producers. If you're doing singers get somewhere close to 8 to 10K for sessions work. 2 hours का work है, एक गाना है, 3 hours का work है, एक गाना है, ये करना है, we get paid, you'll get paid 10K. But that's very basic. That's how much a basic singer would get.
Okay.
Anything beyond that, again, it goes on going crazy for the time. If you are an instrumentalist, the same thing. If it applies to singers, it goes for instrumentalists as well. And apart from that, there's also backing vocals. For example, जो पीछे harmony गा रहे हैं, those people also get paid somewhere close to the singer only. Again, start होता है from 8 to 10K. It can go beyond, like much beyond that.
Arbitrary number till when?
Some people charge like 1.5 lakhs, some people charge 2 lakhs.
Okay.
And these are like Bollywood singers, like proper Bollywood singers we are talking about, for one single track.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean they put out that much effort and work and all of that. Abhi Shreya Ghoshal, don't expect that she'll take 10,000 right for sessions work. So yeah.
Just about Shreya Ghoshal, let's say she makes a track for 2 lakhs, which is 1 minute long, 1.5 minute long. She'll still get royalties after that, or that's
Depends on how the legalities are. Again, they sign a proper contract, they have artist managers, they have lawyers, IP lawyers. There's something called as IP lawyers working with them. IP is intellectual property lawyers. Now there's a whole different segment for entertainment and similar kind of fields where there is different laws, there's different everything, right? Because for example, if I have a song and if my song you hear it once and you copy the melody of it, that is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Now where would you go and what would you tell? And suppose your song sells and mine doesn't. It would be unfair, right, to me.
Yeah.
Because I made the melody in the first place and you just outright copied it. And nobody cared.
Yeah.
So I would, in that case, there's something also called as a poor man's copyright.
Okay.
It's a term. For example, if I have a tune and if I produce it and everything is set right, if it's on my laptop or if I've mailed it to myself, that counts as an official document in the court of law.
Oh.
So I can sue you based on that. Now there are obviously loopholes in that,
Yeah.
but this is the basic law.
Okay. So if you mail it to yourself.
That is an imperative that you need to like keep it on mail.
Oh.
Yeah.
And if you don't, but like you make it, you have all the files.
Yeah.
FL
So
Studio.
having stems, these are called stems, right?
The files.
Every file in your DAW is called a stem.
Okay.
There are vocal files, there are bass, drums, guitar, piano, you name it. There are different files. Now, sometimes these stems can go from 5 stems to usually like bigger projects have 300 stems.
For one song.
Yes, for one song, 300 stems. Or, 400 stems. Depends on how the song is produced also. So if I mail them to myself, if I have all the stems with me, I can easily sue anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have it on my laptop. Again, if I'm working for an organization, I've produced that song when I was working with them on their computers, I lose the case.
Oh.
That is how it is a complicated thing. Now, again, these are like the very basics of the whole process, but yeah, complicated.
Okay. That's like corporate में compliance होते हैं.
Yes,
It's
similar.
that only.
Absolutely.
I didn't know music had compliance.
Apparently it does.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, it has been amazing talking to you and learning about the music industry.
Likewise.
Anything you would want to say to the audience, maybe about your coming music?
Oh yeah, I am in the works for having my own Spotify channel.
Okay.
If that what's it called? Like, is it called Spotify
Account,
channel
maybe?
account? Yeah.
Yeah.
On Spotify account, and yeah, my Instagram is @tan.wav, which is like a wave file. So there's MP3 files, there's wave files,
Yeah.
and my Instagram account is called @tan.wave. So
Nice.
yeah, follow.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. with
Thank
me.
you so much.
This episode was really insightful. Matlab, I learned a lot. I'm sure people who would want to go into music, who are around music,
Yes.
because as you said, music works with advertisement, movies, and OTTs.
It works with so many things, right from your alarm clocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how many things, like to air conditioner के कौन से आवाज आएंगे.
Oh.
All of it is music. So you
Damn.
name it, yeah.
Before I go to the game, it's a would you rather game. I have one more question. Like these small, you said AC का आवाज,
Yes.
TV का start होने का आवाज, even those are made by someone like you?
Yes, absolutely. So there are people who work with analytics team. So I think a few months back I was approached by this one company which said that we wanted to make children's jingles, like nursery rhymes kind of thing. But we have certain specifications. So I thought the specifications were like BPM itna ki itna, just like how advertisements work. But they told me ki their decibel levels need to be until a certain limit because these are children listening to it. You can't have any harsh noises put on. You can't have certain language put on it. And there were a lot of specifications just for that nursery rhyme thing. Now I can only imagine how it works for alarm clocks or something like that. If your phone, if you see, there's only a specific strata of sounds that you listen. Right, dial pads, if a dial pad is happening, then you know कि ये dial pad बज रहा है. That is not similar to AC का sound.
Right.
Yeah, that is not similar to गाड़ी unlock होती है उसका sound. It's all different, right? So
Yeah.
that is how it has to do a lot with psychology also. So
Nice.
vast, again, different, but like very, very different from music production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so music producers also work on such
Yes,
things.
absolutely. These are all music producers that work on. I know there's the guy who did Interstellar music.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was watching one of his interviews and he was mentioning something about this.
Okay.
So these people are like the wizards out there and they have worked so extensively and in so many places that I can't even like begin to start.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Again, a lot around music can happen.
Yes.
People might be working in marketing. Marketing so has a lot to do with music, but many other industries, many other job profiles might be working around music, and I'm
Yes.
sure this episode would have helped them as well.
Hopefully, yes.
And also to artists, hope you don't have to struggle as much as
No, I think
So many
every
people.
artist needs to struggle a little bit because
Okay.
the lessons you learn out of struggling, nobody teaches you that.
Okay.
Nobody.
So struggle kar lo.
Struggle like a little bit.
Yeah, let's go to the Would You Rather game.
Okay.
I'll ask you, would you rather? It's also, you have to tell me why.
Okay. Interesting.
So, would you rather create a traditional Indian kind of a music or a EDM Western kind of music?
Depends again. I think I would like gravitate more towards the Indian kind of music
Okay.
because that is what I have been learning all my life, and that is usually how I begin to think.
Acha.
And yeah, depends if again there's a requirement for EDM, I can nail that as well. But yeah, if you're talking about my music, what I would do naturally, it would naturally go towards the Indian Western kind of side of things. So yeah,
Something
somewhere in the middle, yeah.
Okay. Next question is, would you rather want to work with the biggest music label ever, or you would rather be a solo artist and continue on that path? And
Wow. Those are difficult questions for sure. I think as long as I get to learn out of whichever path I'm choosing and getting to, I think a label would be something I would be interested in because that is not something I've done before. I've worked as a solo artist before, but label would be definitely interesting because the more number of people, the more you get to learn, the more experiences. And yeah, label would be something I'd definitely be interested in for sure.
okay.
Yeah.
And for the rest of your life, if you had one choice and only one, would you work as a music producer or as a singer?
Damn.
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all intertwined, right? Like, it's like asking, ki, would you rather walk or sit?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a part and parcel of the whole thing. Huh? If you were to ask if you do music or engineering, I think that would be a difficult question for me as well.
Acha.
I don't know what would be a simple question by now.
Okay.
But yeah, but yeah, no. Like sticking to music, I think music production. But that doesn't mean I'll leave. Like I'll hang on. Like I'll hang out on the whole aspect that I'm gonna sing music. That won't happen because singing is where I initially started from. Singing is baby steps for me. Singing is I couldn't like pronounce words properly, and I've been singing since that time.
Okay.
I was 4. I could barely like pronunciate some words, and I was singing by then. So I don't think I can ever give up on singing. But music production, yes, is something which has always been my passion and my liking. So yeah. I don't know. What do you make out of that? Music production. Yeah.
So, like to differentiate between music production and being an artist, music production is like at the back end, but the orchestra वाला जो गाय होता है.
हाँ, no. So orchestra वाला जो गाय होता है, that is a composer. That is usually that is called conducting. That is also the conductor.
Okay.
And that is a part of that is a concept of Western music, Western classical music per se. That is not what a music producer. That guy isn't the music producer really, because music production happens on softwares. Music production happens on laptops, on PCs, on devices. That is the real deal. Music production will always try to emulate either something which is playing live, or something close to a human voice, or something which is close to your spectrum of sounds.
Okay, but then what is that guy doing?
That guy is conducting.
So what, like conducting?
So imagine you have like a bunch of players, orchestra players. There are 16 violinists, itne trumpet players, violas, bass, this, that. The people singing some really crazy shit, and there's got to be like one guy who manages sort of all of them, right, in one place, who cues them कि किसको क्या कब बजाना है, because there's like 150 people on the stage. How is anybody gonna know कि किसको क्या कब बजाना है? Obviously it's written on that sheet, but like visually, suppose I forget to flip the sheet, what happens then? I am blind, right? I won't know. How is it gonna work? So there's this one guy who says ki I'm the composer of this piece. I made this piece for 150 people playing it at the same time. I will be the one who's gonna start conducting it.
Okay.
Orchestrating it, quite literally.
Achha.
Yeah.
And so that's Western thing, but when you are making a music, do composers come in the thing or not?
So yes, actually, it's a very tricky space because I guess songs which are like sung vocally have a little lesser to do with composers really, and more of the composers that you are referring to have more to do with the background scores. जहाँ violins आते हैं, violas है, big bands playing. जैसे you might have seen A.R. Rahman के videos and these bigger orchestras and he's saying कि अरे ये violin piece बरोबर नहीं आया and stuff like that. So that is why composers come into picture. That is what a composer does. But composer in terms of composer is composing. May it be an orchestral piece or may it be a music piece or कोई किसी को गाना गवाना है, he only composes. That is all he knows.
He's like the coach?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that is again a different job actually.
Okay.
There is somebody, there are some people called as vocal coaches.
Okay.
Composers usually hire vocal coaches because a composer will say कि I want एक tune चाहिए. बट वो किस फील्ड में गाना है, धीरे गाना है, जोर से गाना है, रॉक में गाना है, बैलेड में गाना है, कौन सा बीपीएम है, हेड वॉइस में गाना है, आ करके गाना है, ऊ करके गाना है, कैसे गाना है, दैट अ वोकल कोच विल यूजुअली मैनेज. In most of the cases, a composer sometimes also takes up the job of a vocal coach, but there is something called as a vocal coach also.
So let's say I'm singing
Yes.
in a studio. So there could be with me a vocal coach, a music composer, and a producer.
Yes. So the producer will only take care of ki what you are singing, what is coming into his screen. Right. Music producers, अगर composer है picture में तो they wouldn't care about कि exactly कहाँ जा रहा है, composition क्या है. हाँ, they'll put him there. उनका जो भी बनता है they'll put it कि अरे ये सही नहीं लग रहा है, फिर कुछ off जा रहा है, they'll say that much. बट अगर कंपोजर है तो कंपोजर विल टेल कि ये क्या फील में गाना है, ये रोमांटिक फील में गाना है. नाउ हाउ डू यू टेल द सिंगर कि क्या रोमांटिक फील. फॉर मी आई डोंट नो, कलंक इज रोमांटिक. फॉर यू दिलवाले दुल्हनिया इज रोमांटिक. आई डोंट नो व्हाट रोमांटिक टू सिंग. यू गॉट टू लाइक गिव मी समथिंग, राइट? सो द वोकल कोच विल से कि ठीक है, रोमांटिक मतलब इफ द वोकल कोच नीड्स टू अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाट इज द कंपोजर्स नीड. And the vocal coach will say कि ठीक है, romantic है तो try singing it in a mixed voice. Try singing it lightly with piano dynamics. ये dynamics है, ये है. Imagine that you are here. Imagine that this is happening and then sing the song. That is what a vocal coach will do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And like when you see a music, like a song, you see the producer and the composer and obviously the singer.
Yes.
So these two are like big, like the names are always there.
Yeah.
So they might be paid a lot, right?
Yeah, they get paid. So technically in our system, there's the royalties that go out. Once a song is made, there is royalties that these artists get paid. There's only three parts of that royalty. 12.5%, 12.5% and 12.5%. So that makes it 37.5%. So 37. So there is I think a composer, there is a lyricist, and there is a singer. Only three.
Okay.
So now these laws have been made long ago. तब सिर्फ तीन ही सेगमेंट होते थे कि either तुम कंपोज कर रहे हो या फिर तुम गा रहे हो या फिर लिरिक्स लिख रहे हो और क्या ही अलग है. Now that has changed. So the labels that pay out royalties give out 37.5% of royalties to these artists. ये डिविजन में.
Okay.
Rest everything goes to the label.
Oh.
So yeah, that is थोड़ा messed up that way.
But then what about producer?
Exactly. Now how do you get all of that into like the new systems? Because now there's mixing engineers, producers, vocal coaches वगैरह, उनका क्या करेंगे? So what happens is कि अगर singer वगैरह, if that needs to be mentioned again in the contract, क्या contract है depends on that. But otherwise most of the people that I know work only on like one time payment basis कि आप मुझे for एक payment दो and उसके बाद nobody cares.
अच्छा.
Yeah, but like bigger, I know that Bollywood में other bigger producers and bigger people, they do opt out for like a proper legal signed agreement and all of that.
बाप रे. Okay.
Huge field, yeah.
So the music में तो legal, engineer,
Yes.
and obviously artists, producers, I'm sure event managers.
Oh yeah, again that's another big aspect of it.
Okay. That is amazing. I have no other words to say. That was really insightful. I mean, music में background में इतना सब चल रहा है. Not many people.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, I assure you.
It's like, as big as making a movie. Obviously, movies
Yes.
3 hours long, but
Yeah, movies like bigger things happening. Like I'm pretty sure more intricate and
Hmm.
more difficult things to handle with.
Hmm.
And उसके ऊपर then there are कि अरे चाय नहीं है, कॉफी नहीं है.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, thank you so much for having me here. It was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, usually the game ends the episode.
Yeah,
but
I'm
you-
sorry.
No, I mean, thank you. I'm really happy that it happened, but that's how much there is to know
Yes.
about music and the industry.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yes.
Maybe we can see you soon again on Above the Average
Absolutely. Any day.
Um,
I'd love to.
when you are releasing your next or your first
Yes.
big album.
Yes. Let's hope that happens.
Thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. If you have made it till the end of the episode, I'm sure anyone who wants to be in music was benefited from this,
Yes.
and who's not too aware of about it. And thank you so much for watching till the end. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Hi. Oh, this is the outro. I mean, I thought intro shoot कर लिया है तो ये भी कर लेते हैं. But इधर तो कोई देख रहा है like hello. अगर देख भी रहे हो तो वैल्यू एडेड जो भी था पॉडकास्ट हो गया है. You can leave. See you in the next one. Come back for the next one. But अभी मैं बस टाइम वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ. पता नहीं क्यों. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.